This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 904. Dirty Words. Enjoy. This is approaching near the end of the stream of the stuff we wanted to talk about. He said his first priority is to ship content, which, I mean, obviously, right? You don't want to have any huge gaps in content, as we had this summer, or are feeling now. His second priority, though, is what is that content going to do other than just give players a new thing?
Bam.
His second priority is the economy. In particular, the balance between skilling and combat. And his general take at the moment is that the balance is a bit off. There will be an update next month that touches on this.
Yeah, so this was music to my ears. Music to my ears. Now, if you were to ask me should be the biggest priority in RuneScape, I would have never said the economy. I know that people freak out about the economy. They're all about the economy. It's the economy stupid. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me. If I need money, I don't mind throwing a few bucks to a bond. Whatever. But that's the thing. Everybody's got to take a little bit of their medicine, right?
Yep.
So I'm taking a little bit of my medicine. That being said, like, having someone actually acknowledge that, hey, combat and scaling are way out of whack when it comes to that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And it doesn't have to be equal. Let's just bring it in line a little bit.
Right.
And the way you can bring it in line is let's make these ecosystems. They've done pretty good with that in the last couple of years of building the ecosystems between what you make skilling wise, and then having components that drops and making that all work together. So I'm very curious and very anxious to see what we're going to get next month.
Yeah, and when you think about the timing on this, they say next month, which is November. And then what that means is obviously December you have the Christmas update. And then we know in early 2023 is when the death and grand exchange changes are happening. So what if this is the skilling side of the rebalancing to the combat side coming in early 2023 to kind of rebalance things and make things a little bit more equal? What if that's what's happening next month? I don't know what that would look like or how successful it's going to be. And I didn't think it was needed either until I heard this. But, thinking about it, it makes sense. Obviously, my perspective is skewed as I can pretty much kill any boss in the game with a little bit of effort. So if I need to, I can just go fire up one of the bosses I know best and go print some money.
Yes.
And that's a different perspective.
And that is only, if they don't see, and here's the thing, if they don't address that now, then that gap will only grow, because if you're doing some kind of a grand exchange, death cost type of rework that reduces that risk, which has always been the caveat for that crowd.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
then
RuneScape
it only makes more of a gap.
Yeah, and RuneScape is an entirely different game when it comes to dying and death and combat risk. There's very few other MMOs out there where dying is a monetary risk to you, or a significant one at that.
Right, and so when that gets reworked, if that gets fixed, if they weren't to put something in place, then, you really would, as if there wasn't enough of a wealth gap, you would really see that.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
And I'm just wondering, how do you do this? Do you work on the gathering side of the skills? Do you work on the artisan side? Do you add some sort of new skilling item sync that's going to, sync the tons of magic logs that are in the game due to PvM? What do you do with this? Like, what is this going to look like? I honestly have no idea at this point, and I'm really eager to hear more.
Yeah, I'm just really curious to see. I've never been disappointed in the end with anything that they've done. It's same with like, when it comes to tempo and balancing. In tempo we trust type of thing.
And
So,
and keep in mind, if it touches the economy and it's balancing, there's probably a good chance that Timbo has at least looked at it.
right. And so like I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but I've come around to the idea of it's probably, it's needed, and I think it's going to have to do with just the ecosystems, the way things.
Yeah, and when you look at any other game, that's precisely how it works. It works on ecosystems. So you can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe or leave a comment.